Hello, everyone, and welcome. I want to discuss today about talking about self-care and personal foundation. I've been talking about personal foundations the last couple of 2 or 3 videos or so back, and I want to continue that, but I want to delve more into it and hopefully give you some steps, some keys, some pointers, and that it won't be all of them that is in the whole total world, but this is what I have found that works for me. It has worked for me in my life, and it's still working for me in my life. And you will always be updating how to take care of yourself, and that is in all aspects. That's financially, that has to do with health, that has to do with emotions, that has to do with relationships, friends, families, co-workers. Whatever affects you in your life, in your day-to-day living. Hopefully, I can give you some steps that will help you. Maybe something you haven't thought about, and maybe you would like to implement them in your life. I was going through some papers that I had the other day, and I come upon some things that I had written a long, long time ago. And so the first one has to do with clearing unresolved matters, because I had a lot of unresolved matters going into my young adult life when I got married that I did not take care of. And believe it or not, you can take unresolved matters with you your whole life. And so I needed to know what I could do. Is there something out there that can help me in regards to the unresolved matters that I have taken into my life, even into my 30s and 40s. And so I want to share them with you. So I have got all my notes here. And so let's dive right in. So this number one, like I said, has to do with clearing unresolved matters. Okay. So this is what I wrote down. Past experiences, what we did, didn't do, should have done, did poorly or wrongly, are always with us in some way. In this video, you get clear of the past, doing what you can and letting go of the rest. You are not your past, yet you may still be living as if you are. And there is a lot of people walking around on the place of this planet that's living this day in and day out. So when clearing unresolved matters with the past, a person, number one, feels free of what he or she has done, yet responsible for it all. Number two, can be with themselves as they are today with no compensating. And number three is able to set goals and reach them more easily. Now, what happens when one isn't clear of unresolved matters? Well, number one continues to repeat the past in some new way. And what that means is, well, you know what? You don't think like you did 5 years ago. You won't think like 5 years from now what you think today. And it's like a 5-year evolution in every individual that takes place in every individual. It used to be kind of like 7 years, but the way the world is going and everything is on going real fast. The world moves fast. And so now I have found that about every 5 years, an individual will find themselves not thinking like they did 5 years previously. And from that 5 years, you won't think like you. So, it's like 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Each time you reach one of those 5 years milestones, you can look back and see how your thought life and how your day-to-day living, your actions, your attitude has changed. And so that's something I want to point out, simply because it's very important to understand what you're thinking and why you're thinking it and how you're reacting to it. So here are some steps to clearing unresolved matters. Like I said before, this is not all the steps. These are just the ones that I found worked for me in my life. Okay, so let's begin. Developing strong compassion for yourself. You'd be surprised people walking around hate themselves. You probably heard somebody say that at some point in time of your life. If you've been on the face of this earth any period of time, you've heard somebody say, I hate myself. You should not do that. Stop doing it. So develop strong compassion for yourself. Understand that we always do our best, even when we know we aren't. The next one, come to see how staying unresolved with someone or something in your past gives you unhealthy energy. The next one, come to recognize the 6 signs of being unresolved. They are regret, remorse, shame, anger, denial, and continuing sadness. Make a list of at least 25 or more things that you have left unresolved and start working on that list until it is 0. Zap tolerations. Make boundaries. Zap what doesn't work for you, and continue working on zapping things that doesn't work for you, making boundaries that doesn't work for you, until you have a life that is conducive, that anything that happens or falls in your lap, you can take care of, good or bad. Make a list of at least 5 actions that you took against others or lies you told, then communicate them fully. You may have to go tell somebody you're sorry if they're alive. Sometimes we let time goes by and we don't, and we just walk away. But I've had to do this in my life. I personally experienced this in my life. And when I did communicate to them fully and I apologized for my attitude and actions, it was a whole lot better relationship than it was prior. Okay. In your clearing conversations, expect nothing of the other person. It's about you clearing out yourself, your attitude, your anger, your angst, your regret, your remorse, your shame, your anger, your denial. It's about you. It's not about their response. You're doing this for you. Okay. The next, start doing the maximum in work, in your task, in your conversation and action, so that nothing comes back to bite you for 5 years. Completely. Think about what you say. Think about the actions and the attitudes that you have, and do them to the best of your capability, so that nothing or no one can come back and bite you in regards to, well, you acted this, you didn't act right. Can't do that. Can't do that. I don't accept that. Here we go. I have had people to try to try to blame me for their shortcomings. Have you ever had that happen to you? Have you ever had anybody try to blame you for their shortcomings? Not going to accept it. Not going to accept it. When you know that you have given 100% or more to be as good to that person as you possibly could be. And a lot of times you will find people won't let you do that because they're so down and disgusted with their own life. And it puts them, guess what? It puts them in, this is a good word, condemnation of their attitudes, actions, and thought life. Okay. The next one. with someone you really trust, share the 5 things about you that you feel worst about and or that are your biggest secrets. Now that person may be hard to find, and maybe you haven't found them yet. Okay? Well, just keep it to yourself until you do find someone. Okay? No, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? And then make 5 changes to prevent unresolved matters from occurring. You can do it. You really can. These are, are they hard? Absolutely. They're very hard. Can they be done? Absolutely. I've done all of these. And they're hard. It's not, to borrow a Southern expression, it's not pretty. But you can do it. And they are doable. But you have to be humbled. And once you do these things, and there's, like I said, there may be many more that you can do. Good for you. Okay. Something that's not here. But these things right here help me more than anything. I'm so glad I got to share them with you. Go out and make it a great day, and I'll see you again next week. Bye. Let me know. Hey, give me a comment. Put me a comment down below. Give me a thumbs up if you're liking this. Share this with somebody. See you next week. Bye.